We have 200 veterans' names that have died by suicide, all combat veterans. And we collect more names, so if you have any names, we'll take them. We make dog tags out of them. We call remembrance tags. Their name, their rank, their branch, a dash for their life. It says never forgotten. On the other tag, it says forging forward, what's strong with you. And I give these out at my retreats to the veterans that are there to take an oath with me that they won't do the same thing. They'll use these tags as a reminder of their strength and know that suicide's not an option. We got to keep living for those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. And these ones that have died by suicide, I reflect back to when I thought about suicide, those first couple of years when I didn't understand why would I take myself out.
Welcome to the Asset Mindset Podcast. Bobby, it is great to have you here. Man, I can't tell you how excited I am to have you on here because I just love your mindset. I love your sense of humor, how you use it to embrace the suck and overcome things, how you inspire people, how you inspire me. It was a pleasure and an honor to work with you and get to know you in the past. And I'm just super excited to have you here on the Asset Mindset Podcast so my listeners get to learn more about the well-done comedian. So before I do a big bio or anything, why don't you share your story a little bit?
Yeah, I guess go back. First of all, it's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me on. We go back to I was in Desert Storm. I joined the Army at 17 years old, went to Desert Storm at 19, got out for 10 years, and then 9/11 happened. So I knew I had an experience that a lot of young men or women are about to go through, that I still had a fight in me at 30 years old. Couldn't let that happen to this country and not do something about it. So I re-enlisted October 31st. I was back in basic training. After 5 years, you got to go back to basic. So I did basic, I did jump school, and then I went to 82nd Airborne. I did 3 more tours to Iraq. In 2007, my Humvee got hit by a roadside bomb. I was the only survivor out of 5 guys, 18 years ago now. And I knew that I couldn't sit and do nothing. I couldn't let them die in vain. I couldn't waste the life I've been given. So I just looked up at God, said, what do I do? What's my new mission? How do I continue on for those we've lost?
I really admire that. And I love how I kind of do the same thing myself. I got guys from my unit that I've lost, and those suck days that you're just like, oh man, and it's hard to drag yourself out of bed or whatever. You're like, you know what? No, for these guys and what people have sacrificed, we got to step it up and honor them. And I love how honorable you are and what you do with your story, sharing and inspiring. So when do you think you actually developed that mindset? Or can you walk me and the audience through embracing the suck and realizing and having that shift in your head where you decided to be like, no, I'm going to take a negative and turn it into a positive?
Right. Yeah. I think I've always kind of had the mindset in me, not knowing it, especially after reading your book. Like, wait, that sounds like me. Did I write this? It was well written as a child can read it. Thank you. I appreciate that. But it was,
You're welcome.
it was, at first, of course, it was difficult. Survivor's guilt. I felt like a burden on my family. I felt useless. I was like, why did God keep me alive? Why am I still here? I don't understand. So I would pray to God every night just to take me for 2 years. Just, I'm useless. I don't get it. But I always used that sense of humor as a self, what is the word I'm looking for? Just to defend myself in a way and help others not deal with it, and diffuse them and to help them with the sense of humor. So even in the hospital and ICU, I would joke to my friends, family. I would get out of the hospital. I'd joke with my kids. Like, I didn't want them to know the battle that was going on inside, that I really didn't want to be there. So humor is a great defense mechanism just to kind of shield what's really going on. And it took me probably, again, 2 years for I stopped praying to God. I said, all right, what's my new mission? 3 years before I really accepted what I look like. When I first got to the hospital, it was really hard. I mean, I spent 6 months inpatient to get back out there and then see all my stuff. I had that giant big green Foot Locker that had all my stuff that the 82nd had sent back to the house. So it's all my memorabilia and stuff from Iraq. And then realizing I can't do this job anymore. I told you before, in 2004, I went to selection. I hurt my back because I was an old man trying out, which most of us are that try out for SF. We're trying to get out of the regular army. I want to get out of this bull crap and get into the real shit. So my plan was always to go back to selection. I got back in shape and I was ready to go back to selection. So even in the hospital, I told my wife at the time, I said, yeah, just take some ibuprofen, drink some water. As soon as I'm better, I'm going back to selection. Like my career's not over. So when you realize that your career's over and like it hits you, like it wasn't my choice to leave already, but obviously I had to, that hurt. That was really hard to deal with, and that's when I was kind of angry and like, what is my new mission? How am I be useful at all? This is crazy. Why am I even alive if I can't be used to do anything? But yeah, it took some time and beat myself up like we all do. We all go through taking the meds, taking the alcohol, trying to submit everything, submit it down and depress it and control it. But the best way to control it is to look it straight in the eye and talk to it, tame it. You can't ever get rid of those beasts, those demons, but we can learn to tame them and live with them. I don't know if I really
That's
answered
well
your
said.
question or if I just went all over the place there.
No,
My
you,
ADD.
it's okay. It's okay. It's sharing here, and we're just being real and honest. And I think people relate to that because you know what? Not everybody has it all together. It's part of the human condition to struggle. I think exactly what you're saying. Pain, problems. People try and numb it with drugs, alcohol. You just don't want to feel it. You want to be numb. But I think, like you said, as far as finding something, whether it's humor, whether it's a passion or purpose that you have, that can help tame the struggles that you have within. So when did you like really acknowledge, you said you used humor for embracing the suck and making people feel better around you. When did this become a passion that you were like, you know what? I think I can do this and do it professionally and help inspire other people to overcome their issues
It
or struggles in life?
is all an accident.
As many things are, right, in life?
Right? It's like, I'm just being me. But when I had my hand for 2 years before they amputated it, they kept trying to fix it. And so when they finally amputated it, my occupational therapist, again, I was just using my humor. This is 2 years at, post injury that they amputated. And I'm just using my sense of humor. You're going through physical therapy, occupational therapy. It's painful dealing with all that stuff. You're joking around to all the other veterans that are in the room and just making fun of everybody and myself and the doctors, the nurses, the OTs, PTs, just everybody was a target to kind of get through the day. And she said, "Oh my God, you're so funny. You got to do stand-up comedy." And I said, "No, this won't work. This won't work on the outside. Because making fun of us. Like one of the guys was a Marine that lost both legs above the knee, and he's walking for the first time. So of course, we're all proud of him. We're excited. Like, oh my God, you're walking again. We saw our brother take 7 steps, and then somebody asked him, "Well, how do you feel?" It's like, well, half of me feels like. I said, no, 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 no. You can't say that anymore. Technically, that's all of you. That's like me saying, on the other hand, it just,
Yeah, yeah.
certain things just don't sound right.
No, that's good. So that light bulb came on for humor. I think we all use it in the military. It's very common, like we bust each other's balls, we make jokes, like you said, the Marine amputee and what they go through, dealing with that stuff. But what do you think makes humor so special to combat these type of things or just the suck in life sometimes?
It just kind of breaks up the monotony of the suck, and just you got to laugh at it because I think it's not just veterans, first responders, humans. It's just a human thing to be able to, when you can look and relax and laugh at what happened to you, you realize you can't change what happened to you, but you can change how you deal with it. First step is to be able to laugh at it and then put in action, what are you going to do about it? You're going to keep marching forward. What's your next step to find your new mission? And that's what it is, a healing mechanism. It's just a human thing, for sure.
No, absolutely. So do you think it has the ability to really fight and overcome the victim mentality? Because a lot of people in life have things happen to them. You yourself have been through, tremendous things. That victim mentality of just why me, or oh, this sucks, or oh, I can't anymore because X, Y, and Z happened to me.
For sure. It's definitely a defense mechanism that can help with that. It's, again, it's that first step getting through the process. And again, it's never going to go away. There's like, oh, like, I don't think people think I wake up every day going, hey, I'm just going to be funny man today. And I don't ever have a bad day or anything. I battle it. I mean, every day there's a battle. And I got PTSD along with OCD, like two things that make me angry at everybody. But it's a constant battle. You're never going to be fixed. Don't think there's a magic pill. There's a magic, oh, I went to the psychiatrist 3 times and I got this now. I got these tools. You got to keep using those tools. But just having a tool isn't going to fix your house. You got to get out there, fix the siding, fix the shingles, the door jamb. You got to continue to work on yourself. I just, the analogy I use all the time is your house, the wiring, the electronic stuff, that's your brain. That's the stuff that we forget to work on sometimes. We always see oh, he needs a hand, those simple things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
No, definitely.
We battle the wiring up there all the time. And the mental along with the physical together is how we get through it. And we know that if you go to the gym and you work out, or you run, you walk, you go on a hike, Mother Nature, these things help you mentally as well as physically, for sure.
Absolutely.
More tools for the toolbox.
Definitely. What I think you just said is super powerful in there, and I want to go back and highlight it as far as there's nothing that just makes it go away. Whatever struggle or things or that wiring problem that you're talking about or whatever it may be, that struggle is always there. You don't read my book, The Asset Mindset, and be like, oh, I know how to be positive. Everything's great in my life.
Right.
Like it doesn't happen. There's tools. And I love how you use that analogy. So let's go into that taming more of those problems so people realize, for you listeners out there, definitely understand that whatever you're reading or growth you're doing, that solution that you've just learned isn't necessarily a solution that's going to make it go away forever. It's going to tame what you have. They're tools for coping. And Bobby, just help share the tools that you have, maybe other than just sense of humor and cracking jokes. Is there anything else in your toolbox?
Right. And you said coping. That's the damn word I was looking for earlier. It's coping mechanism. Because it is. And there's all kinds of extents. You need different types of tools. So it's the comedy writing, obviously, but I write poetry. I write poetry about the demons I'm battling, about good things that happen to me too. I just get it out. Mother Nature, going on hikes, kayaking, painting. Mother Nature, it's taking your shoes off and walking through the grass. I mean, those little things and just being present in Mother Nature is huge. More tools that I want to work on myself too. More meditating. I'm bad about sitting down. I don't have the patience to sit there, but I'm trying to do Tai Chi now, and just to help me focus in the morning, and then go to the gym, kind of a stretching exercise and meditation, and then work out. I think that helped me more powerful. Little more powerfully. You would think I was in the Marines the way I talk.
Hey, Army, we aren't ready to be Marines yet, right? Not quite there. Oh, someday.
If I get an extra chromosome, I'll be there.
No, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think one of the things you just keyed on too is getting out there with nature. I've seen a theme lately a lot, and I want to share it with you and others, and you're already saying it with get out there in nature, but go take a walk. Taking a walk is so, like, get off your couch, get out of your house. You don't want to be around people, go out with nature and walk. If you want to be around people, go to a mall and walk, and people watch, but get out there and move. And just walking gets the blood flowing. It gets your mind thinking, and you can process stuff so much better. So, I mean,
yeah. And going back to, I guess I never really answered the question, but it was an accident. So because I started doing the joking around at the hospital stuff, I got talked into doing the comedy. And then people were like, wait, this guy's doing comedy? We want to hear the whole story. Like, how do you do this? And so then it just turned into sharing the story, doing the comedy, and people telling me that it helped them. I was like, I'm tired. I've been doing this for 15 years. I got to take some time out for myself. Like, keep going. You just helped me today. You get these messages that tell you that it's helping people. Because it's always weird to say, I help people. I just tell them my story and they feel better. It just sounds weird that I have this power. I always say that God's given me strength and courage to do what I do. I've learned over time by people telling me that it helps them. So I continue to just be me, share that, share my struggles, share my what do you call it, awards or whatever, my accomplishments, share that too, and let them know, like, if this, I mean, look, I can't even talk right. If this dumb guy can do it, who drove a truck and jumped out of airplanes in the military, then you can do it.
I hear
we
you on that
we
one.
could all do it.
So I think the big point right now then is you just keyed on courage. Let's talk about courage, having courage and how that can actually help shape your future. And for the listeners out there, you need to be courageous.
Yeah, and having courage doesn't mean you're not scared. Uh, it means you're scared, but you're gonna do it anyways. You're gonna take those steps forward. You realize um, there's fear in anything you do, especially if you're not used to doing it, never done it before. It's scary out there. You're scared about failing. It's okay to fail. That's how we learn, right? I used to say that when I rode BMX when I was a kid. Failing only leads to the big payoff. Eventually, you nail that jump, right? You win the race. But it comes with scratches and scars and brain damage. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you have the wounds, but you learn from them.
yeah,
And it toughens you up and you learn how to deal with stuff. I always think when you have fear, it's an opportunity to be courageous and brave. And that means something great is going to happen. So if you're dealing with fear in life, don't think that that's the end. That's a beginning.
right.
When you can break through that
Sure.
fear, imagine how good you're going to feel. When you really had that, like you said, you looked in the mirror and you could finally accept yourself. That must have been a huge moment when you can break through that.
Oh yeah, I was insecure, even though I never let anybody else know it. Uh, but it's like I look so different. I look at pictures of me before now. I'm like, that guy looks weird. And I tease my mom too because I still look like her. So I don't know what that's saying.
Oh, Bobby, she loves you
Yeah,
anyways.
right.
Well, what's that one saying that as far as a face only a mother can
Mom.
love?
Yeah, right.
Well, it's your face, Mom, so you better love it.
You might have to blur this for the podcast. I know it already looks blurry, but you got to blur it more.
Oh, geez. No, you're good in front of the camera, and you've even done some acting, which
Yeah,
is pretty cool. Do you like that? Do you want to pursue more of that? Tell
I
us about
do.
that.
I do. I'm excited. I've always kind of like looked at acting and sampled with it. Like, when I was out of the army, in between my two stints there, I did a little extra work and body double stuff. The movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez. I was a stand-in in that and a body double. The TV series The Fugitive. I did some body double stuff on it and some extra work back in the day. And then since the injury and doing comedy, the word got out there about me. I guess this is social media, how it works, the good part of it, anyways. And so I got asked to be in different things. Of course, they always ask me to play a wounded veteran. Hey, can you play a wounded burnt guy? Like, I got this. I can do that.
Yeah. I don't even need to say anything. I just am the part.
Yeah.
Just walk in.
And then I love that Shameless called me, and I did one episode of Shameless, and they actually made fun of me, and they were worried about me being upset. I'm like, no. Like, one of the producers followed me, like, we got this part for you. You're going to play Pyro Polly. Guy mob used to use to blow up shit. I'm like, yeah, this is perfect.
I love it. That's good. And you got out of the vet role. You were a mom guy then. You got a different character. That's fantastic.
Got out of that typecast, right? And then now this year, I just decided to contract, and I can talk about it now. There's a new TV series going to be filmed this year called The Giant. And it's a small town with a sheriff. There's going to be some other guys in there. You probably know, like, what's his name? Johnny Hunt. Johnny Utah Hunt is going to be in there. Special ops guy. And he does a lot of like gaming stuff, hunting, video gaming, wild game stuff and stuff like that, bows and arrows. And then Doug from Forged in Fire. I don't know how to say his last name, Mercada. I always mess it up. One of the guys from Forged in Fire is going to be in the series. So we have one season we're going to shoot this year so far. We don't know if we'll get picked up for another one. It hasn't been filmed yet, but it's coming up. And I get to play, check this out. This was a real stretch. Comedian in a bar.
What?
Yeah.
That's what you're. Oh my goodness! I hope you're preparing. Are you going to do the lifestyle acting? Like you're going to immerse yourself in that role?
Right. I'm going to focus. I'm going to watch clips of burnt comedians, and I'm going to nail it. I'm going to get it down. I got it. I'm working on it.
I heard this one guy is really good. He's well done though. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I don't know if I can be that good.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I love your show, man. When I saw you at Zany's, that was just awesome. And like just the comedy and embracing things. Like that's what we need to do as people. We just need to embrace the cards you're dealt and realize it's your hand. Play it how you want, but you got to play it. If you just sit there and hold all your cards, then what are you doing in life? You're not living.
I'm not playing that hand though.
You sure? Looks solid.
Looks like I already played it and lost. Like I say, like, I got the nonprofit now, Forging Forward. Everything that I learned over the years to help myself, I try to share that to try to help others. That's what we talk about is your strength. It's like, what's strong with you? Focus on your strength. We all have strengths. So use those strengths to build your weaknesses and use those strengths to help others.
That's right. And listeners, I want to have you pause because Bobby just talked about his foundation. I want you to go in the description and do something positive. Give him a follow. Check out his foundation, what he's doing. Amazing stuff. Great guy. You might be able to catch him at a VFW or who knows, anywhere else. And it sounds like you're going to be on TV soon again, too. Is this a
Yeah.
Netflix thing or what is that thing?
It has distribution. We don't know where it's going to be distributed yet. It's one of those things. They got someone that's going to sell it. Hollywood, it's the magic behind the magic. It takes forever, but they already got distribution. We just need to get it done, get it filmed, and then they'll put it out there, and there'll be all kinds of platforms it'll be on.
That's fantastic. And speaking of platforms, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe, and obviously share the Asset Mindset with people on whatever platform you use and are listening to. Give us a like and a follow. So now getting back into this, Bobby, I want to talk about what do you think made you successful in dealing with all the different things? I mean, it's not just, all right, being blown up. There's so much more than just the physical and the mental. Like, what do you attribute your success to?
It goes back to my childhood. For grew up in a family with a single mom for years. So I was about 10 years old since I was a baby. Those struggles, you have to grow up faster. You learn to be a little tougher. You learn to deal with, hard times, at a young age. That helped. Of course, going into the military at 17 years old, all the training I had to adapt and overcome throughout my military career. I know it's cliche, but it does. It really helps. And then just the attitude, of course, the comedy helps, and just being true to yourself. I never pretend like, oh my God, I never want to be that guy that goes up there and shares a story and just sounds so fake and tries to, aren't you guys excited tonight? And try to pump you up. Aren't you feeling good? Give me a hat. No, I want to share my story. I want to talk from my heart, depending on what group I'm talking to, what's going on in their lives. Because I talk to all kinds of different businesses, situations, military, civilians. So what is this group going through? Why am I here speaking to them? What have I been through that they can really relate to? I try to find that and just speak from the heart. And I think that helps. And of course, the business side that you need for all of this, I have to thank my wife. She is the mastermind behind the scene of everything I do, running a nonprofit, the Speakers Bureau, the comedy gigs, the flyers. She does all that. I just take all the credit.
There you go. That's what they say. Behind every great man is an amazing woman. And you
Yes.
definitely have an amazing one. Jamie's awesome. So let's get into people nowadays, I think, also like to stay comfortable. But if you're staying comfortable, you can't really chase growth. So what would you say to getting out of your comfort zone?
I think to help me get out of my comfort zone and to push me forward is the people that are put in my life. The occupational therapist for bugging me to try to stand up. Amy for putting things out there and pushing me. There's times I don't want to do stuff. No, I don't want to do that. I'd be a little baby. She pushes me. The management teams, the people you put around you, friends and family that push you, that believe in you. That's what helps me keep pushing forward. Without those people, I would probably, all right, I'm just going to go hiking. I'm going to go fishing, and I'm not going to talk to anybody. But they help push me when I feel like I can't do it, when that fear starts to take over, which it does sometimes. They're like, look what you've done already. Why would you stop now? And they're the ones that push me forward for sure.
Oh, yeah, no, that's so powerful, having good, positive people around you that love and care. And I think people need to find that if they don't have it.
For sure.
So you want to give any hints on how you find those positive people?
But people that bring joy to you, if you feel joy with them, those are the people. If they're talking negative all the time, you know those people out there that constantly they'll put stuff on Facebook and you're like, why would you put that out there? Why would you put that on social media? That's more personal. That's too much. You know, if a struggle you've been through, I've been through a struggle. This is how I got through it. If you need help, put that out there. But some people just put some personal stuff and talk about others when they just really shouldn't. Those are the people you stay away from. You hear it all the time. You know, it doesn't matter if it's friends, family. Sometimes you got to cut family off if they're too negative. They got to go. It's hard sometimes. Or don't let people drag you down. There's a lot of veterans I try to help, and then they really don't want the help. They want the attention, and you try to help them time after time. And eventually you got to cut ties. Like, here's everything you need when you're ready and you're serious. Here's all the information you need. Here's who you can go talk to. Call me then. But other than that, I'm gone because you're dragging me down too, and I can't have that. You can't
No,
have that.
exactly. And I think that's setting boundaries. And
Yeah,
setting boundaries is so important. People are afraid to do that nowadays because I think oh, I might hurt somebody's feelings, or, oh, our relationship's going to be different. But you know what? Sometimes you need a different relationship with somebody. You
right.
need to set those boundaries.
And I'm one of those people that are uncomfortable going, you know what? It's not going to work with you and me. I'm going to go this way. You go that way. I do the old school. I slip away, slip away slowly. And eventually they get to hit, right? If not, then I got to go, all right, this
Yeah.
wasn't working.
And for any of you non-paratroopers out there, that's one of the jokes, slip away, because that's what you do when you're under your canopy. You got to slip away from the guy you're going to collide with or whatever, or a tree. Oh, slip away.
Does it work really fast? It takes
No,
time.
no. Yeah. You better be thinking ahead of time.
Yes.
You're going to slip away like, a minute
Sure.
before now.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, that's fantastic. I love that, we're sharing and letting people know, because I think you hit the nail on the head where a lot of people view from the outside and they're like, oh, they figured it all out. Oh,
Yeah.
he's a comedian. He's successful now. Look he doesn't struggle with anything. Oh, Dan wrote the asset mindset. He obviously is always positive. No, man, you're a human being. You're going to struggle.
Sure.
It's a condition. It's how you deal with it. And I love that you even said taming, because you got to tame those thoughts. And the more you train your brain, that electrical wiring you were talking about, you can shift. Are there any techniques that you use for like shifting for self-awareness, as far as when you start having that negative thought come in your head? Is there something you're like, ooh, light bulb, I need to think this way or do this?
Yeah. I kind of turned into a high school football coach with a sailor's mouth, right? I yell at myself, you idiot, what are you doing? What the fuck do you think you're doing? You're a dumbass. Stop doing this. You know you got to get out there, get back up. All right, but I'm just going to take a nap and then I'll try it. I'm going to take a nap and then I'm going to go back and try this. But I do. Sometimes I have to yell at myself. So sometimes I need that yelling, that discipline. And sometimes I self-motivate by positive reinforcement to myself. Like, you got this. You're doing good. That's funny. You got to keep trying this. You got to keep trying that. And again, surrounding yourself with those people that see it and they go, hey, you doing all right? They check on you and they help remind you too to keep going, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. To be your own coach.
Yeah.
And that's why I talk about be your greatest asset. So if you're being your own coach, like nobody can be in your head more than you can. Like they're not going to know what you're thinking. So you need to be able to coach yourself better than anybody else. It's good to have positive people around you, but
you're your biggest critic. You're going to hurt yourself the most. Nobody else is stopping you. You're stopping yourself. I stop myself by not having those positive thoughts. And of course, you go back to those days where you write positive stuff around your house. Put it on your mirror if you have to look at it every day. Have a quote, a favorite song you listen to every morning to help kind of trigger that positive thoughts. You have choices, so you got to take that choice to have a good day. Bad things are going to happen, but you got to choose to react to it. And anger, depression, all these negative kind of feelings they're not necessarily bad. They're true human feelings. Embrace them. I tell people to embrace those feelings in a controlled environment. Like I said, sometimes I got to take a nap. I just can't deal with that day. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to restart. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody's retired. Can't just take it. Got to get to work. I get it. I give myself a pity pot timeout. It's like, I'm so freaking mad today. This stupid shit's happening. I'll go in the closet and punch clothes, or have a punching bag at your house if you don't want to break your hangers. cry, curl up in a ball and just cry. Let it out in a controlled. These are natural feelings. You start balling all that up, and it's going to turn in a bad situation during road rage, in public, traveling. You're going to get angry and lash out at somebody else that doesn't deserve it in a situation you don't want to be in. So do it in a controlled environment. Get those feelings out.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want it to build up and you snap,
Yeah.
and things will trigger you in life. We all get triggered. And there's a new thing I've come across in some of my studies, and, I'm always trying to improve my fighting position, improve my mental position, is, how people say things trigger you? Well, you just mentioned something that you use or put things up around the house or letters or signs or whatever it is that's positive, a song, those are glimmers. So you have triggers and you have glimmers. Glimmers are the things that make you feel good. And you can put those around in a sense to trigger you in a positive way. So you have glimmers of positive things or things that you believe in, a picture of someone you love. So when you get up in the morning, you're like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. And then you see a picture of your daughter or your dog or whatever is your passion. Like those things, you can put glimmers around your house and around your life to combat the triggers.
I like that.
So yeah,
Glimmers.
feel free to steal that.
Glimmers.
Glimmers. I think that's a good one too.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I like that because everybody's worried about, ooh, what triggers me? What triggers me? Well,
Right.
what makes you feel good? Put out some
Yeah.
glimmers,
And that's why we say, what's strong with you? Not what's wrong with you. Quit focus on what's wrong with you. What's strong with you? Look at your glimmers. I like that. I'm going to be glimmery today.
Yay, we both are. Get a shiny shirt. No, I love it, Bobby. And I just, man, your smile and your honesty and opening up, I think is just, it's shedding so much light because so many people are afraid to share what you share. And I think that's amazing. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted you on here, because I want people to learn from you. I want people to understand that it is a struggle. There's no magic bullet. There is no one thing. You just have to keep working and keep pushing. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the first step, I think, is situational awareness and understanding what your beliefs are. What do you think about that?
For sure. Definitely look around you. Look at your situation. Where are you at? How do you get out of it? I mean, you can look around and see like, okay, there's a bomb there. I should go this direction. That's negative. This is positive. I'm going to go that way. For sure. You got to have situational awareness. And again, look at your strengths. Look for those glimmers. Use those positive thoughts and keep pushing forward.
Exactly. So what do you see in the future 5 years out from you? What are you looking at? What are your goals? Because I always talk about setting goals and then maybe backwards plans. So obviously,
Yeah. No, Jamie and
you
I
got
talk about
stuff.
this all the time when do we slow down? We said we're going to slow down this year. That didn't happen. We're planning on slowing down a little more next year. We'll see if that happens. I don't think it is. But yeah, there's probably 5 years down the road. I want the load. It is a load.
It's a load to carry, man. 5 years is a lot of time of,
Like I don't, there's no way we can't stop our personalities and who we are. We'll never stop giving back and doing our mission, but we'll definitely slow down. So my big thing is I want to have that one comedy special out there. Boom. It's out on social media, Netflix or whatever. And people can always refer to that when they need it. And then that gives us time to slow down and just more focus on the nonprofit, doing about 4 retreats a year, a couple little fundraisers, and then spending time with our grandkids. That's where we want to be in 5 years for sure.
Yeah, grandkids and children, that's our real legacy.
Yeah.
And we can teach them. So you mentioned your foundation again and nonprofit. Share more with the listeners. Like, what are you doing and how can they
Yeah.
connect?
Yeah. So it's the Bobby Henline. Okay, I say my own name now. It's the Bobby Henline Foundation, Forging Forward. I forge forward through the fire. How do I show others to forge forward through the fire that they're going through, through whatever battle they have? And so again, it's those tools that I've learned, whether it's writing stuff down, poetry, songs, physical labor, and making a knife out of a rainbow spike, actually forging something, painting, any kind of art form. Again, we talked about Mother Nature, hiking, kayaking, fishing. All these things help. So we do retreats, in small retreats, 8 to 10 veterans and first responders. And each one of them, we have an outlet that we learn, whether it's kayaking, golfing, fishing, stuff like that. We got to do. We do what we call reflection art, where I walk you through an art program, and anybody can paint. You don't have to be a great painter. It's your art, your view of yourself that I walk you through. You paint it. I'm not a psychiatrist. I call it therapeutic art, but if it helps you, hopefully it helped me. So far, it's helped a lot of others. We do that project, real simple. And again, that's just that camaraderie, someone else building a group of friends that can call on each other when they need it. We have the body shop. Any veterans that have lost a limb in the war and they need to be refitted, they don't have the money to travel back to get it refitted or get the new updated ones. We have an anonymous donor that will pay their airfare, their hotel, give them per diem while they're there getting the prosthetic fitted on and stuff, which could take up to 2 weeks to refit and all that stuff. So we have the body shop for that. We have all-American dining. Everywhere we go, we see first responders, veterans, we like to pay for their meals. So we have that program too. Jamie and I do that. We just paid Springfield, Missouri. 8 firemen came in. And of course, we love our firemen. Everybody thinks I was a fireman, but I wasn't. Well, not professionally. There was that one time, but
Yeah.
But yeah, we have the all-American dining. We have the remembrance tags. We talk about suicide. Again, all this is to prevent suicide, right? And we like to share that you don't say committed suicide. It's not a crime. They died by suicide. We have 200 veterans' names that have died by suicide, all combat veterans. And we collect more names. So if you have any names, we'll take them. We make dog tags out of them. We call remembrance tags. Their name, their rank, their branch, a dash for their life. Says never forgotten. On the other tag, it says forging forward. What's strong with you? And I give these out at my retreats to the veterans that are there to take an oath with me that they won't do the same thing. They'll use these tags as a reminder of their strength and know that suicide's not an option. We got to keep living for those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. And these ones that have died by suicide, I reflect back to when I thought about suicide, those first couple of years when I didn't understand. Why would I take myself out to protect my family? It's not that I couldn't handle life now. I got to handle it in a different way because of what we've been through. We all normal for the situations that we've been through. This is what happens. So when we think about it, and I know when the one that have died by suicide, they're trying to protect their family and friends. They think that they can't handle that. I mean, there's times I was in a drive-through and I couldn't even order for my kids. I'd have to drive out of the drive-through. I couldn't stand in a line in a movie theater because I didn't like people coming in, out, getting in line behind me. We feel bad for our family that because of our choices that they got to go through this. But they are our family. They love us. They want to help us through this stuff. But I get why we have those dark times in that moment, why we do take our lives sometimes. So we try to prevent that by building these tools. So I know that those guys, those men and women that have died by suicide had just lost a battle to a wound that they sustained in a war zone. Them died by suicide is the same thing for me going in for another surgery because of my wounds, and I don't come out from that. It's those wounds that eventually took my life. It's the same thing for them. So I want them to remember for their strength. And I want us to know the best way we can honor whether it's suicide, or actually in. When you burn your throat, you need lots of water.
I thought you might have been doing something else with your
No.
I don't know.
I would never be crying or acting like a sailor.
Love it, Bobby.
There's the humor. Yes. But the best way to honor the fallen is to live your life to the fullest. Don't waste the life you've been given. Don't let them die in vain. Take advantage of our freedoms that we do have here. Don't abuse them. There's a difference. Take advantage of them.
No, absolutely. Honoring the fallen that's so much strength and power there. I seriously probably at least once a week really look at my arm and reflect on guys and I'm like, you know what? I got to keep pushing for you. I didn't want to be someone that stands up and talks. I didn't want to be in the spotlight. I didn't necessarily want to have a podcast or be this author.
Right.
But it's, you know what? No, this is the right thing to do. God's put me on this path and I'm going to play my cards in life the best I can to honor the people. And that's why I like bringing guests like you on that are living with that same purpose, because I talk about in the book, you don't have to be special forces to have the asset mindset. You got it. Other people have it. Other successful people have it. But if you do want to go to selection and be special forces, you damn well better have an asset mindset, because they're not going to
Yes.
want you on a team, because you need to be an asset. And always remember, we are our greatest asset or our greatest liability.
Yes. And like you said, you're doing it. It's your platform. It was there for you. It came naturally because uh, Roosevelt's quote I love is, do what you can with what you have where you're at. It's that simple. People think I got to have all this money. I got to be smart. I got to do. No, it's little things. Whatever's in front of you that you can do. You have this platform, your asset mindset. You say, no, let me share this with others. How I did it, how I do it. And then, okay, how do I take that further to get it out to more people? The platform of having the podcast and everything. And of course, your story with, if you don't ask, you'll never know. Hey, kid, do you need a bodyguard? Can I work with you? Who does that? That's awesome.
Yeah. And life, see, that's one of the other thing. I love that you brought that topic up,
Yeah.
because that's opportunities in life. Like, my life completely changed because of that one action. Your life has completely changed because of one action. So listeners out there, you're literally one opportunity, one event, one thing from changing the course of your life. You can do it. Understand that it's not this impossible task. Yeah, it might take some work and it might take some time, but one thing can change, and people say, like, ooh, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Well, that means I only have to, swing 10 times. It's like, come on, let's get with the program, right?
Look at these hockey players. I mean, they take shot after. There's like 50 shots on goal, only 2 went in, but they can win with that. It's
yeah. That's you in your life out there. Like, you can do it.
yeah.
So for those that don't know and are watching and listening to this, so I was down in the Bahamas and I had just gotten off active duty. I was celebrating my birthday, and Kid Rock was down in the Bahamas. He does a lot of stuff for the USO and supporting the troops. Is very patriotic, as most people know. And I just had to go up and say thank you to him. And he was like, "Oh, are you in?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not in. I just got off active duty, but last year I was in Afghanistan for my birthday, kicking indoors and whatnot." He's like, "Well, let's have a drink." We started hanging out. I'm thanking him for supporting the troops. He's thanking me for my service. Turned into a 3-day affair. We became friends, and now it's 18 plus years. I worked for him for like 5 years, and it's been amazing. And all of that because I was on the beach and I wasn't afraid. Well, I'm going to lie to you a little, I guess. I was a little afraid to talk to him, but I had that fuck it attitude, to be blunt. I'm like, this is an opportunity and I want to pay it forward and give him gratitude. And when you're doing those positive things, people take notice. I mean, he noticed, he said from the very beginning, just how I talked to him and how I acted. I wasn't
You weren't
there
looking for anything. You're just saying hi. Like, I got a chance to say hi to Kid Rock. That's it. You didn't know it was going to turn into more. That it's awesome. That's the thing. Opportunities like that's happened to me. There's some doors I had probably should have opened and I didn't try. It's like, I don't want to bother that person type thing. But there's ones I have, or mutual friend introduces me to somebody. For instance, 2 years into doing comedy, I get introduced to Brad Garrett from Everest Raymond. And he's like, "Hey, so I heard you're doing comedy." It's like, "Yeah, I heard you own a club in Vegas." "Oh, you want to do Vegas? All right." And he gave me a shot. Like, you don't know.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, people, you're alive still. Amazing things can happen, everybody out there.
Keep living. Just because you're alive doesn't mean you're living. You got to keep going and keep living.
I do like that too, because we talk about in the Army, you're droning. Don't be droning in life. Don't just be going through the motions. Don't do that. Find a passion, find a purpose. And if you don't know what it is, go for a walk. Figure it out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. I say my angels talk to me when I'm walking or running or at the gym. It's funny, if I'm working out, I got gangster rap on. I just love working out the gangster rap. I've got Lil Wayne on there just going to town. But thoughts come to me, ideas come to me when I'm doing that. And I say my angels are talking to me, giving me advice in life and watching out over me, though. Like you said, those 4 men are tattooed all over me. They're hanging in my truck. Everywhere I go, they're reminders around me. I mean, not a day goes by that I don't think about them and their families. Every day is Memorial Day. I think for all veterans, and especially us that were in situations like that where we lost ones really close to us.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's a few that it's I thank God I wasn't in your situation, but I know a lot of people were. I got a good buddy, Dave Nunez, who was in a vehicle and he went through some horrible things. My buddy Josh Whitaker, great guy. We bonded so much and we deployed first time together. And literally, I'm on getting on a bird to go on a mission, and somebody has a memorial patch on their sleeve and it says Whitaker. And I'm like, Whitaker, I know a Whitaker. And then I'm like, what? Whoa, 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 whoa. I found out literally going to do a hit that one of my best buddies he was on another ODA and whatnot. But I'm like, holy shit. Like that night, let's just say I was pretty amped up and kicking
Yeah,
doors wasn't hard. But no, you have these things that happen and find strength from them, honor those people. And I love that you're doing that, Bobby. I connected with you right away from the beginning because your heart is real and I appreciate you so much. And I think you are being so brave and courageous and getting out there and beating down the path for others to follow you. And you're making a difference. And I want
appreciate
to
it.
continue to support you in any way I can. That's why I wanted to have you in here, share your foundation, share your work, because you're an amazing human being. And when you're having those suck moments, try and think of me if you can. I know you got other people that are more important, but like, seriously, I'm so proud of
Shirt,
you.
shirt on or off?
I might be doing the helicopter. Who knows? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Here we go. No, but really, Bobby, you're great. And
Get too serious on me, damn it.
I want to make you cry. I'm trying to make you cry. You know?
I am a big crybaby. I was just crying about talking about my golf game the other day. It was ridiculous. I was sharing my story to a group of long range reconnaissance. It's so hard for me to say that word. So they were having a reunion. And I was speaking to them about everything. The LURS and LARP and LURS. Yeah. So I was talking to those guys and I was just talking about my golf game. Pushing yourself through something that's hard to do. Especially on one hand, I never golfed before. And so I broke, the 100 finally. And then the other day I shot like a 92. I'm like, I'm bawling and crying. I'm calling my wife. I just did it over golf. But yeah, I'm a big baby. I'm definitely a big baby.
That's all right. We are all a baby at times,
Yeah.
But I just want to go back a little bit and I want you to hit again on where do you find your
Again, my strength I find in myself that I have to look for. But the best part about finding my strength is the people around me. The ones that I've lost, their families, to keep going for them, to be an example for my children, and the people around me that I put around me that push me when they know me good enough that they know you're not giving it all today. You're holding back, and they push me and they give me, sometimes it's smack in the head push, and sometimes it's more positive reinforcement that, they pump me up. I know you can do this. You got this. Jamie's favorite saying to say every time I go on stage is kick a moon and catch a star.
Well, you're the star, so I guess you just gotta, kick a moon.
Yeah, she caught the star.
Yeah. Oh man. No, Jamie's fantastic. Love you, Jamie, out there. I'm sure you're somewhere listening.
Hiding in the other room.
No, Bobby, you're just, man, I'm at a loss for words so much because you make me smile. You make me laugh. You inspire me. You're doing all the things. You really are.
Appreciate it.
And,
Thank you.
I did a show not too long ago with this other gentleman, George Hayworth, and he talks about, telling other guys that, hey, you're doing a good job or I'm proud of you, because men don't really do that.
Right.
And that's a lesson I've kind of learned through him and, my growth as a human being. So that's probably why I'm laying it on a little thick.
Yeah.
Because it's a new awareness for me.
Right.
I got to tell guys I'm proud of them.
I try to do that, whenever I speak at a speaking engagement, especially when I'm sharing my story. It's like, hey, today I get to share my story. I'm the reminder. But there's days I need to be reminded. And we all have a story. Everybody in that room has a story, no matter what they've been through with the military or not. they've struggled through something. We all share our stories. Is how we help each other out. We have to remind
Exactly.
others.
Absolutely. You said it. You know, you got to share your story. And for people out there that if you're in isolation mode right now, you got to break out of that. You
Yeah.
have to.
And I always get people telling me, well, Bobby, I hate to complain to you about this because I haven't been through what you've been through. And they think I've been through something worse. But really, physically, maybe, depending on what you've been through, I've been through something physically, but the hardest part is mentally. So I don't care what you've been through. It's the hardest thing you know mentally. It's equal to the hardest thing I know mentally. It's the same. You
Yeah.
can do it. You can do it.
So, how would you help someone that is struggling and that, you know, a lot of people turn in isolationism? How do we touch those people and help them?
That is a difficult question. Why'd you ask? No, but just seriously, I mean, if someone doesn't want help, it's so hard, and they need those other people to nudge them and push them to help somebody else is hard. To get to someone who ready for help, you just ask, talk, keep sharing, keep talking to them, asking them questions. Don't be scared to ask them questions. But it's so hard if that person isn't ready to be helped. You can't help them. But hey, if you keep asking, you ready? How about now? You feeling it today? Keep coming back to them and checking on them. Eventually, they'll be like, all right, let's do this. And baby steps, baby steps. Like you said, go for a walk. That's going to help. Being out in Mother Nature, going for a simple walk, a drive, take a back country road, go for a drive. Look at the beauty on the fields. I love that. Seeing the old barns, the livestock, that stuff makes me happy to see that. It triggers the brain and gets it going. So little things like that, taking them for a ride. If you could talk them into getting in the car with you, hey, let's just go for a ride. We ain't got to talk to nobody else. We ain't got to be in public anywhere. Let's just go for a ride.
Yeah. And there's beauty out there. That's one of the things I think people forget. There's a lot of bad shit in the world. There's evil in the world. But you know what? There's a lot of love too.
Right. And going
And
on
what
that
do you want to
ride,
look at?
right? And you
Yeah.
go for that ride, it's going to get their brain going and just let natural conversation. You don't have to start digging. Just start talking and let natural come out naturally. And that's
Yeah.
how you can help somebody, help a buddy.
Yeah. Just being there with someone by their side. Yeah. You might have some silence for a little while, but like you said, you take in the beauty, you share that moment, and you never know where it may lead.
Great.
So I think that's really important. Now, I want to give you the opportunity. There's one last thing that if you had, you know, you're a comedian and whatnot, and I know you have your jokes, but if you had a magic wand and you were a sorcerer and you could enlighten everybody with one thought or one idea, what would it be? Like, what would you leave the audience if you could change them? What would that thing be?
Oh my God. If I could make everybody just love themselves. I battle with it. I struggle. Everybody does. If we could all just learn to love ourselves every day unconditionally, that would be all right. What happened yesterday was yesterday. That's another chapter. You got a new chapter to write today. So don't wait for New Year. Start writing that new chapter today. Love yourself.
Absolutely love yourself, Bobby. That was fantastic and amazing. And I can't think of anything else that wouldn't be, you know, a better high note to end this on because absolutely listeners out there, love yourself. That's been the best answer I think I've heard. And I don't think you can get any better because love is a powerful thing. Thank you for listening to the Asset Mindset Podcast. Thank you, Bobby, for being on here. It was an honor to connect with you again and have you on the show. You really helped share some powerful things. Love yourself, audience. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Share this with you if you have someone that needs to have a little love or learn to love themselves and needs the asset mindset. So thank you once again. Thank you, Bobby. God bless. Own your
Appreciate it.
power.
Thank you, brother.